Hello and welcome again to Esiwakago YouTube channel. And this is another day that the Lord has made. And we are here today. We thank God. He has given us a new day, new time, and new opportunity to be alive. Today, we are healthy. We do not take anything for granted. And today I have a guest on Esiwakago YouTube channel. And we're going to be hearing about his story, and maybe I should just touch a little bit about it. It is a story, whereas he has been battling with kidney failure, and when he relocated from Kenya to America, he didn't know he had any health issue, and in fact, to such an extent. So it was news to him. And let me not talk about someone else's story because they know it better. So without further ado, I would just want to welcome Gerry Wainaina in the show so that he can come and tell us about his journey with kidney failure and the experience. And now that God provided a donor and how it makes him feel and the difference. Okay, Gerry, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much, Essie. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and even to just come and talk about my story here on your platform. Thank you so much. It's a great privilege. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Yeah.
We are good.
Yes,
So,
my
Gerry,
name is, yeah.
tell us, who is Gerry? Because I know Gerry in so many argos. He has a lot of names. He's known. Wasikuona hivi hivi. You are very known. Yeah. So, can you tell us who is Gerry and where do you come from? The current and the previous place or location that you used to live before we got to know now Gerry, the one who was fighting with the kidney failure.
Yeah, my name is Gerry Wainaina, but many people, since I come here with my platform, Kenya AmericaI, which I give stories about Kenyans here in the US. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, here in Washington State. Our city is Seattle. So because there is Washington DC and Washington State, so there's a difference. And I come from Eldoret. That's where I was born and bred. And then I moved to Nairobi. I pursued my music career. That's where my life was, in Nairobi. So then while I was doing my thing, I got noticed by somebody who later on we got married. That's another story for another time. Yeah. Let us not get derailed.
I know, but you should also tell them they can catch the story on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, by the way, I've talked a lot about it. So if you go to Kenya AmericaI, you can find my stories over there about my relationship, how we came to the US. Yeah. So later on, I moved to the US. First of all, my life was okay in Kenya. So I was like, I'll never come to the US because I had tried 3 times to come to the US and got denied my visa. First 2 times I had been nominated for some awards here in the US, and we had some very big wigs in Kenya. We were like 5 of us. We got denied the visa, so I was like, that was back in 2010. I was like, let me just focus being Kenya. Maybe my life is I'm supposed to be prosperous here. And yeah, I kept pushing, and I was like, yeah, I'm eventually making some ends meet. I started becoming like a well-known person in Kenya, like in the genre that I used to do a profession in jazz. So I started getting like being known in that sector. So I was like, I'm never moving out of this country because I started making my way up, and I was satisfied. But then things do change. So 2016, I came to visit the US with my wife, And then I was like, I performed with the Navy band. I got a privilege to perform with the Navy band.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, it was a very big concert that the Navy band was performing. I was also one of the main artists to perform in that concert, and they were like, "You're very gifted, so actually you can come here in the US and you can join the Navy and be paid just to play music." I was like, "That's a good idea,"
Yeah.
because you realize in Kenya it's good, but well, like you can get a lot of money, but maybe you don't have insurance. You still, like, when you get sick, for example. I was like, for example, if I get sick in Kenya right now, I'll use all my money and that's all, I'm done. So like, this is a good opportunity because serving in the US Navy will give me better chances. So I was like, we went back to Kenya because one thing when you're married to an American, there's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
Like, unajua ati vile unaweza sema ati let's remain here and do and file while we are here. No, we had said in the embassy we are coming for a visit. We have to go back to
Yes.
Kenya. So yeah, we went back and
Yeah.
eventually we tried doing our paperwork, and then 2017 is when I really relocated to the US, and I went straight into trying to become I wanted to be, the first priority was to be the Navy, but then I realized, Navy, first of all, you have to learn how to swim. And I'm not badly off in swimming, but when it comes to the weather here in Washington, it's very cold and nobody
Yeah.
cares. Nobody
Yeah.
cares. If you're thrown in the water, you're supposed to swim. I was like, it's not me swimming in the in the ocean in that cold degrees.
Cold.
No. So I changed to Air Force. Air Force, it's actually one of the easiest military outfit here in the US. So I was like, it's kind of the same pay, the same advantages. So let me just join the easiest. Why should I struggle? There's no need to struggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's where, because the Air Force, Army, Navy, they go through a very crucial checkup. Like
Yeah.
they check your background check, they check for your physical test. You even do like a 3-hour exam, which is like mathematics. So it's
Oh, you
anyway.
have to do all that?
Yeah. There's something we call ASVAB. There's a lot. That test is like 3 hours.
Wow. They better not give me the math.
There's arithmetic. There's English. There's comprehension. There's
Reading.
like 5 subjects. There's like 5 subjects.
Okay.
So and by the way, that's what will determine what you'll be, because people don't realize that military, you can become a doctor, you can become any other like profession, like while in the military, like, because that
Right.
exam will
Right.
rank you and decides where you'll go. You can
So,
become a scientist, you can
do
become a
you?
scientist, you can become a chef, like, but chef, you don't need to score anything. Like, you can bare minimum, you become a chef.
Does that mean if you become a chef or you become a nurse, you don't have to go through the training as an army officer?
No. You're first of all an army, okay?
Okay.
But then,
Then you
because
major.
like, yeah, like then you become something else. There's a profession that inside army, but you're first of all, if you're in the Navy, you're first of all a Navy. And
Yeah.
then there's your other profession
Okay.
that you train, you get special training, because you realize, like, when the military go maybe abroad to engage in a war, you can't just engage a nurse who is not trained to be a military,
Right.
because they have to know how to use the gun. So that's the basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe your plane inaharibika huko kwa, so you need a mechanic, an engineer who knows how to fix, but also knows how to fight.
Okay. I get you
Yeah.
now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
So,
that's how it.
so you are trying to join the army and you had to do
Air
this
Force. Air
physical
Force.
test.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean Air Force.
Mm.
Wow. And you wanted to, I mean, they had to screen you because they have to anyway. And
Yes.
most of the time, they have to screen you for almost every type of job, but something to do with maybe the army and being a nurse or taking care of people, they would also want to screen you, like the full screen for like being physically fit.
Mhm.
So how did you realize that you had a disease that you didn't know before, and you are not feeling sick? Why you?
No, I wasn't. So what happens is what disqualified me to join the uh, Air Force
Yeah.
is the BCG vaccine that we normally get from here, you know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that disqualified me, and they here sometimes most of the time it translates that you have latent TB. Latent TB is inactive TB, which if you get like some interaction with something like that's against that, it can become active.
Yeah.
So so they say so they said I have that disqualifies me. So I was like, no, let me go be checked by another doctor so that I can, because there's a way you can take a regimen of 6 months medication and then you can rejoin again. They give you a certificate to show that you're cleared,
Yes.
don't have
Mm-hmm.
TB.
Yeah.
So when I went to my primary doctor now, that's when she was like, before you take this medication, because it's very strong, we first of all need to check your internal organs to see if they are working well, like the kidney, pancreas. Those are the things that excrete the toxins of the body. So
Right.
yeah,
The
so
antibiotic that you're supposed to take for TB
that,
treatment is very
yeah,
strong. Very
yeah,
strong.
yeah. So yeah, so that's when they she realized, because she's not like she's just a general doctor, what we call
Right.
primary doctor here. Maybe at back home is what we call general doctor, like the general doctor. So she just told me straight on the face, like, your kidneys are so bad, you need to be doing dialysis or get transplant. And you know,
Just
the
like
general
that.
doctor, yeah, here they don't beat around the bush, like straight to the
Right.
point. Yeah. But she then said, I need to send you to a like a, like a specialist who is a nephrologist now. So the nephrology, we went there, and it was like, your your kidneys are so like bad. You need to be doing dialysis like 3 years ago because you're stage
And how
5.
long? How long were you after you located and now you have something big to deal with? I believe you are still new in America.
Yeah, like I relocated on 2017 September to the US,
Mhm.
and immediately, because of, okay, we ought to wait 1 month to get your green card first.
Right.
So without that, you cannot even enroll for military. So you
Yeah.
have to wait for that green card. So after that 1 month, that December, I had already tried to get into the
Right.
military. Now I
So
was
all these
diagnosed.
things are happening within 3 months,
Yeah,
roughly.
like February, I had already started thinking of dialysis now.
Oh my God.
2018.
How did
Yeah,
you take
because
it?
those news were big. You know, kidney failure. I had no clue about kidney failure. Even I had never heard of kidney failure myself.
Yeah.
Like that name, I had never heard of it. So, and then I realized that it's a very huge disease that kills a lot of people. So it's life-threatening disease.
Yeah.
And it was, even my family, because they know it much more better, they were like so saddened more than me, because I didn't know like what is kidney failure. So I
Right.
came to learn as I went, and I realized it's a very dangerous, it's not a disease, it's like condition.
It's a condition and it's a chronic one because it's not
Yes.
something that's gonna go away tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
it's,
you are here. I believe you were you working?
no, I was not working at that point because I was still pursuing now to join the military. That was my goal. I was not even working at that
So
time.
now you have a journey, a very long journey that you have to embark on, and you don't have a job to back you up. And I know once you start the dialysis, there is a way they weaken you because it's not like any other day business. Like I'm coming from dialysis and I can just jump into work. Is the process of dialysis, was it weakening you such that even if you would want to work, you can't? Because I
Uh,
think it's a difficult one.
yeah, what happens with dialysis? It's time consuming. Number one, it's like because I started with peritoneal dialysis, which I used to do 4 times every day. Yeah, so it was time consuming. Like I had to first of all just try and deal with that first, because you're coming in a new country. You have just been bombarded by this huge condition that you have to deal with. So you have to deal with your mental, you have to deal with your physical. So back home, guys are like, you went to America now, you're supposed to be expecting a lot of dollars from you. So there is that pressure, you thought you're coming to America. Kenya, I was actually doing very well.
Mhm.
But now you come to America and there's this
You
huge,
stagnate
you,
completely.
you like get stagnant. Kabisa.
Everything just stops.
Everything stops, and like you're under the mercy of the people, the masses, like the mercy of the masses.
Of the people.
you know. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Gary, I know here in America, by the way, we didn't even tell people from Kansas and you're from Washington, Seattle. So it is kind of like two worlds, but we can connect easily than them. Tell them
yeah,
that. So, yeah. So I know here in America, medical um is very expensive, and you are talking about needing some medical services on something that you are required to do 4 times a day. What I know with America, even greeting a doctor like this, you go to the ER and say, "Hi, how are you?" That's like 1,000 down. You know. So how are you coping with all those bills, or how did you go about it to be able to get the services? Did you have an insurance?
yeah. At that point, I had an insurance which was covering a lot, but also the Kenyan community here, which when I came, I just there's a way I just connected with the Kenyan community here,
Mhm.
and they've since then they've just been standing with me and
Wow.
just supporting me. So I want to appreciate the Kenyan community
May God
here
bless them so much.
here in Washington and all over US, because I've traveled a little bit to
Mhm.
many different churches here in the
Mhm.
US.
Mhm.
So and those people, they've just carried my story like at a personal level, because they feel empowered and encouraged, because not everybody who is sick that talks about their journey.
Right.
So that in a way uh, feels like it's a motivation to a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of people who are undergoing even crazier things than I do, but
Right.
the fact that
They don't talk
I,
about it.
I they don't talk about it, so nobody knows.
Right.
Yeah. So but my issue, I just decided, let me just share my story, my journey. I didn't even think about it when I started, but
Okay.
it instead of now creating that like pity party, it just became a source of power, source of strength to a lot of people who've been watching and following my journey. People, even a lot of people from Kenya, all over the world, call me. I have an issue. I have a son who's doing dialysis, and they just need to speak to you so that they can get that motivation. And
Wow.
I think that's something positive out of this story.
It
Yeah.
is, and I believe you walked the journey like a soldier. I I didn't even believe that you have a condition, because how I knew you like a jovial person on Facebook, someone who is not even looking like they are sick. You know, you refused to look like your problems. And that was so motivating. And I believe there are so many people who felt encouraged by you. And would you say that speaking out helped you a lot? Like it gave you so much strength to walk the journey?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's just, there's a way you speak something, and I wrote a lot on my Facebook, and I read those stories, and I'm like, wow, this is just this is just motivating even to me, because the way some things pop up like after a year, and then a story pops up, like as history on Facebook,
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, that was motivating. So
yeah,
my journey in itself has been a source of power and strength to me as well, as
yeah.
I motivate other people. I
Hmm.
didn't plan about it. It's just something that started, and I went with it. So, and it's become like, people look at me, and they're like, I. Some people are like, I need your courage. I need your courage.
Yeah,
Because you refuse to look like your issue, and you decided to use that as a platform to encourage more people. And
right.
that's what I believe we should live like. Just I know some things can boggle you down, but just looking ahead. We serve a bigger God than our problems. So don't say your problems are bigger than your God. So
Yes,
if you look at a bigger God, then your problems become minute.
right.
So yeah, so
So,
that's how I saw the journey as.
okay, so would you say that when God was making a way for you to come to the United States, and God knew, because there is nothing that catches God by surprise. He knew you had a condition, but he never let it to be known to you, even to the doctors, because maybe you had happened to go to the doctor in Kenya, but they never told you had such a condition. But immediately when you arrived here, you got to know, I have this condition, and I am now in America. Though I am new, at least I am at a place where I can rely with their medical system. Do you think like it was God's plans to bring you somewhere where you will not struggle much with the medical journey?
Yeah, when I got diagnosed, we always say that it's like a blessing in disguise, because I was coming to do other things, but then I got like reintroduced to my life again.
Yeah,
And then if I didn't discover about this issue, if I didn't want to join the military, so everything is pre-planned. Like
right.
everything is just goes by the book. So like I wanted to join Air Force. Through Air Force, I got to know that I have this issue, and they started treating it. Okay, kidney failure does not have treatment, by the way. Even dialysis or transplant is not a treatment. That's something that people should understand.
Hmm.
Uh, Dialysis and kidney, it's either you do dialysis, because there are two ways. There are two ways to get a transplant. Either you get a living donor,
Hmm.
which mostly is from your family or friends,
Hmm.
which I had a lot of people willing to do that.
Hmm.
They, I used to go to Swedish here in Seattle, so there's a way you can reapply to become a donor, but then you don't decide after they
Yeah.
see your like primary application. Then they see you qualify, they take you to the next step. Like there's previous steps. There's a lot of steps uh,
Okay.
towards becoming a donor. There's a
Hmm.
lot of people who went through that process, but it ended up not being a match. So there's that way, and then there's a way. Once you start dialysis, you become part of a list which is called transplant list, Washington transplant list. So that list goes 3 to 5 years.
Hmm.
You are on that list 3 to 5 years. So on the third year, that's when you start to get like call-ups for offers. So,
So,
and
are
this,
you trying to say, like, if you decide to do dialysis, dialysis is done to keep you going as you wait?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay, okay. Now I know.
yeah,
Today I'm genius. Oh my God. I have learned
yeah,
one thing. Mhm.
yeah. So and you have to qualify for you to get a transplant here in the US. You have
Mhm.
to qualify, because it's a
And
very
is
it's a
it
very
a free
expensive.
thing?
Yeah,
Is it a free thing
like to do what?
to get the donor? Do you have to pay for you to buy the kidney, or they just offer?
or they offer here.
Okay.
Okay, there's some things you can sell, but some organs it's free. And
Okay.
why I like that process, because I got a lot of people, they're like, uh, I want to sell you my kidney, but I'm like, how do you know it fits me?
Mhm.
You
I
can't
know.
decide. You can't decide. You can't
Mhm.
decide. But I was like, there's value in free things. Like I always say, if for example we decided to buy Jesus, would have misused him,
Right.
because we'll be like, we can buy another Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
But when you understand the value of a free thing, like he was freely given to us, then
Mhm.
you don't joke,
You value it.
you value it, you
Mhm.
know. But something you can buy, you can break it and buy another one. If you break your phone, you get a
As
better
long
one,
as you have the money, right?
as long as you have the money, you know. And even if you don't have, you can do a rambe.
Yeah. Or you
There's
can take
always
it as a mortgage. You pay little by little.
yeah, there's a lot of ways around it, you know.
Mhm.
But something for free, you value. Like for instance, I got a kidney that I didn't know. Even today, I don't know who it came from.
Right.
I don't know the person, because once you're in the transplant list, you are lined up for a donor that is diseased. Because here in the US, there's that system, like you can choose to be a donor. Like in your driving license, it's written whether you are a donor or not. You can
Yes.
there's a lot of things you can give. There's cornea, there's lungs, there's kidney, there's heart.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot you can donate. And in the same breath, I want to just talk about donation. It's a good thing to do that, and people should start thinking about donating, because like for example in Kenya,
Mhm.
there's a story that went on TV, and it was really trending, of
Yes.
people who go to the morgue, and they for all those organs, and they go
Mhm.
sell them to the rogue doctors. The rogue doctors, they place in your family member without even check, because they just want the money. And within a short time it fails, because these things you just don't like put, like it's not a mechanical thing. You have to really match a lot of things.
It's not a mix and match.
And it's there's a lot that you need to check. So but if you freely decide that you give,
Mhm.
then it will be more valuable than when
So
somebody steals from you when you're
I
not
know
even
you
aware.
waited. How long did you wait?
I waited for over 3 years, and
And, uh-huh.
that process was not easy, because I started with peritoneal dialysis. Peritoneal dialysis at some point failed. I had to do hemodialysis, which is a different one, different type of dialysis. So, and as I said, dialysis is just a way to prolong your life, because now your kidneys are not working. So you really have to clean your blood, because if you don't clean your blood, that's what is gonna make you sick.
Okay.
As we said, this uh, kidney failure is a condition. So it's only the way you keep yourself, what you eat, what how you live is what will keep you healthy. But if you don't stay to the line of what is acceptable for dialysis, then you get sick now.
So you even have to have a certain diet.
You have to have a certain diet.
Can you tell us now about the breaking news call that you received to let you know that they have found a kidney for you? And how was the surprise?
Oh, by the way, I've been waiting for that call. I had always waited for that call, and
Yeah.
immediately we got into 2021. I received a call, like January was it third? Yeah, I got a call. And what happens is they they call you like with a group. I believe with a group of 5 people. Like if it doesn't go to this person, it will go to this one. If it doesn't go to him, like that, like that. So I was like the fifth person in this group.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, it didn't go to me. Maybe it got to the second person, or the first person, the third person, the fourth person. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the second call came on my birthday.
Can you go on telling? I have to go. Whew.
Yeah,
Okay, go on giving the story. I'll be back.
yeah. You can mute your mic. Okay,
Oh,
so yeah. So actually, my call came on my second call came on my birthday, and then I tried. I was really excited, and but it didn't turn out to be the match again. So I waited. I was like, okay, it was not mine. It was not meant to be. So I just have to wait. And another call came in 1 week after my second call. I was like, wow, this is too soon. So they called me and they were like, this kidney is really looking like it's for you. So once they call you, they're like, we'll call you tomorrow or the day after, because they just call you to alert you. And then later, after they've now like confirmed, that's when they give you a call. Hey, you need to be in the hospital at this point in time. So yeah, they called me a week later. That was on the I believe on the 13th, and then on the 15th, that was on a Sunday. I was coming from church. I got a call. Hey, Jerry, we called you on Friday. You need to be here because we've really found a kidney for you. Wow! So that was like so exciting. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And one of the reasons they always tell you you have to live like in the perimeter, a certain parameters next to the hospital, so that when you get your call, you're easily accessible to the facility. And I didn't live, so it was 45 minutes, but 45 minutes, it's not that far here, because once you enter into a highway, it's just smooth until you get to the destination. So I went to the hospital that night. I stayed there the whole night. I did my last dialysis that early morning, because when a visitor is coming to your house, you have to clean up your house. You have to clean up your house. And uh, yeah, after doing that dialysis, yeah, it was time to go for the transplant surgery. A surgery that takes almost 6 hours. So, as in, wow, it's a journey that when I just try to recall, I can't even fathom, you know. But God has been good. God has been gracious, because not every day that people undergo this kind of transformation uh, and just come out victorious, you know. So I do not take it for granted. And I really want to appreciate the people of Seattle here, because they've really held me, prayed with me, and it's it's just amazing. It's just amazing to have people who you never knew to become part and parcel of your family, become people who can hold your hand. It's just amazing.
Wow, that
Mm.
was a journey, and we thank God, like, because eventually it could be a long journey, and I know along the way you had your own share of struggles that comes with it.
Yeah.
But we thank God also that He built you a family away from home, a
Mm.
family that was able to hold your hand, and it made the journey easier. I know it wasn't easy, um, for one, because this is something that your body is going through. So it wasn't easy, but some things could get easier if we have friends that become like our family, especially in a country far away from home. So,
Mm.
what would you want to say that you learned, the one lesson? I know, of course, you learned about the faithfulness of God, because it is what kept you all the way to the end. But what is the one thing you learned about being healthy throughout the season?
Um, there's a lot of learned. Like sometimes we there are things we can control, and there are those that we can't control, and we have to be contented by both.
Yeah.
Like what you cannot control, you cannot control. That's
Right.
most
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. Just learn a way how to navigate around it. And what you can control, you really must take that uh, first step to like attack it before it attacks you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's something that needs to be shifted, it's you. Yeah, like if you want to change your TV, it cannot change by itself. You have to either go and set it or get the remote. So you have the remote of your life on the things that you can control. Yeah, those that you cannot, be contented. But
And
those
leave
that
them
you
to
can,
God.
yeah, but those that you can control, you really need to be like on the steering. Yeah, like your diet, like your uh how you live, your lifestyle, because we talk about long life, but long life sometimes there's what God has given you, but also there's what you can control. Yeah.
Right.
Like if you don't wash your body, you will stink.
Definitely. If you
Yeah.
have a bad eating habit, you're gonna
Yeah.
become obese anyway.
Yeah. So there are things, it's like 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. So there's no
Right.
way that 1 plus 1 in Jesus' name will be 3.
Okay. So, Gary,
Mm.
how has life been after you got the new kidney now? I know, of course, you are a new person. The
Yeah.
way you feel, you didn't used to feel before. How, how,
Yeah.
how is the new Gary now? And what is he doing currently?
Yeah. By the way, first of all, it's like a freshness, a newness that I can't even explain, you
Yeah.
know, because there's a way that if one of your organ, and that's written in the good book, that if one of the organ is ailing, the whole body is not good.
Yes.
The whole body is aching.
You
Yeah,
are right.
even if it's your, yes, hata ushaitembea ukagonga kando ya meza kale kakidole
Ah,
kadogo.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The whole
unazama
body
kusikia uchungu kwa
feels the
nywele.
yeah.
So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is there's there's the joy that comes when your whole body is functioning how it's supposed to be. It's not yet there, but
Mm-hmm.
we are moving towards that direction. And
Amen.
it's just appreciation to God and the people who worked behind it. Yeah, because actually the doctors they are knowledgeable when it comes to the human body.
Treating. Yeah.
Because like that doctor, the one who did transplant, they told me that week they had done like 80 transplants. So when they tell you not to do this and that, that's somebody who knows. So
Right.
just knowing where the balance is of what God can do and what is humanly possible,
Okay.
yeah. So drawing that line is very important, and not colliding the both of those situations.
Okay. We have
Yeah,
to do what we got to do, and
yeah,
then we have to let God do where our power is limited. And now He's the only one who can take us through, but we cannot be ignorant.
yes,
All right. Your journey is so inspiring. Some part of it was sad at the beginning, but at the end, we see the victory of Jesus and we thank God. So, Gary, I know I see you on YouTube, I follow you there. Can you also, as we wide this video, can you tell us what are your social media handles and starting with YouTube? Because I know you do YouTube videos, you empower people there, you do inform them about America and so many other things. So can you tell us what are your names on YouTube so that we get to support you and to also ask my subscribers to come there and support you and kind of like dance with you, celebrate with you for your victory because God did it for you. And one way of doing it is to support you by subscribing so that whenever you are trying to make a living there through your YouTube videos, God will bless you through them by them getting to watch your videos.
yeah,
So my subscribers, please go subscribe to Mkenya Marekani TV. We're gonna
mhm,
attach the link below here and support him. Support him. Celebrate with him for the victory, guys.
Yeah.
So give us the hurdles.
Yeah, you can just go to my YouTube is Kenya Marekani TV. You can go over there. I have even SC has come to my YouTube channel. We had a session with her earlier this year. And you can also find Kenya Marekani on Facebook. Go like the page, and also Kenya Marekani on Instagram. Yeah, those are my socials. And if you want to have a personal uh, like link up with me, it's Gerry Wainaina on all platforms. Gerry Wainaina on all platforms. So yeah,
And by the way, you said you come from Eldoret.
yeah, Eldoret. That's where I was born.
You mean there is Wainaina in Eldoret? Okay.
But the body is streamlined. You see, this body is for a Kalenjin running.
Yeah, Samuke. Yeah, I can see that. It is a body that has been raised taking milk, more of milk. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys take raw milk, by the way. If you do, please start boiling milk from today. So, guys, we have come to the end of this video, and Gerry Wainaina is also a very huge, big, great
Saxophonist.
saxophonist. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't want to embarrass myself by saying the name the other way. You know, I'm a Kikuyu. I'm mostly made of Kikuyu, especially the Senturu. You know,
Uh,
Senturu. So we say some words the way we want. So he said it's called saxophonist. And
yes.
I am a witness. He's a very big, he does it so well. He's so excellent on it, like perfect. So, guys, let's support Gerry Wainaina. And Gerry Wainaina, may I take this opportunity to thank you. I am so humbled that you made it to this show of Esiwakago. We like guests, only that we don't cook tea. We don't give guest tea. We just wish them to eat of the Holy Spirit. So, we want to thank you so much for your time and also sharing your story with us. It is very encouraging. And as we wind up this video, can you say bye bye to our viewers?
Thank you so much, SC Wakago, and all your viewers, your family here on your YouTube. May God bless you, and may anything that you touch be prosperous. Thank you so much.
Amen. Amen. All right. Bye bye.
Sa, see you. Toodles.
Toodles.